What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into the JDM EF2 just a little bit. I know it's been a little while since we've touched that car, but I really was trying to lay out the game plans of what's to follow with this build moving forward, and I think we have a solid game plan. Now that the 8.8 Silver Sedan is on standby, I want to kind of keep myself busy, so we're going to dive back into it. Today we're going to be stripping as much as possible out of the engine bay in hopes of getting it prepped for some fresh paint. I'm gonna open the garage in just a little bit and show you the car before we dive into it. But if you guys don't remember the JDM EF2, I acquired this car from Burbank, California out of HMO, H Motors Online, and I got it for a killer deal, and I couldn't stand to see the car get parted out, so I ended up buying it as a shell. I literally had no intentions with the car. It was just something that was like an impulse buy. Shout out to Brian for sending it to me, because I literally bought it the same day that I spoke to them. So I got this JDM EF2, which, if you guys haven't been following the build series, if you guys haven't gotten the gist of the title, this is actually my dream build. If you guys are OGs, you guys remember my first EF sedan, and all the stuff that I wanted to do with that car when I was younger is literally everything I'm going to be doing with this car here on the driveway. Back then, young college student, I didn't really have a lot of money. This is kind of where the budget side of building cars came from, and I finally have now third, fourth, fifth, sixth chance to finally do this that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. So before we step outside, I want to show you guys some of the updates with the t-shirt printing stuff in the background right here. What's up, buddy? Right here on the t-shirt workbench, we have 4 different prints from 4 different companies. I'll talk a little bit more about this at the end of the video, but on the back end, I've been trying to find a DTF printing company that is affordable, that is high quality, and is closer to me. So I've tried now 4 different companies. Well, not actually tried. I haven't printed these 2 yet. I just got them yesterday, but I've already printed this one and this one. This one right here is still on the top of the list. This one, not so much. I printed a t-shirt a couple of days ago, and right off the rip, you can see this one has a little more like a yellow tint to it, or a light green tint, opposed to this one, which is Ninja Transfer. I've just been trying to find prints before I, buy these in the bulk, right? Sample prints, if you will, but not actually using the company's sample print. I really wanted to see the quality of the actual design, which is why I printed out the actual design with these other companies. I actually have one more company that's going to be coming in here the next couple of days. I ordered this about 2 days ago, and this is probably the closest one to me, and the owner, which I've spoken to on the phone, she really stands by her prints. So I guess we're gonna find that out when it actually shows up. But yeah, I've just been working on the back end, guys, just changing some things up. Somebody recommended to put the parchment paper right onto the press itself to kind of cut down the time of, like, putting it on in between presses. So I got magnets holding it up right now. I need to get a couple more of these right here. And then, like I said, I've been printing, just trying to try out different prints. If you guys remember, I mentioned that I was going to do limited runs on some fun prints that I've been working on, and this is actually one of it. This is an incomplete one, but I just filled up the gang sheet just to kind of utilize the space, so I threw this one on there. And if you look, it has that yellow tint on it as well too. The car is gray, but in this photo it just looks yellow. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with these guys, but just to fill up the gang sheet, like I said, I threw my Prum Formance logo on there. If you guys haven't seen it before, Prum Formance right there on my pegboard. But again, some quick fun prints, cut away from yourself, not towards yourself, again, just to fill up the gang sheet. But that's what I've been working off camera, behind the scenes, and again, I'll talk a little bit more about these guys on the workbench towards the end of the video. So let's go ahead and open the garage. Oh, he cannot wait to go outside. Look at him. He should have about 2 or 3 hours of sunlight to play outside before I gotta shoo him back in. So let's grab some stuff. So the JDM EF2, this car came into HMO as a parts car. They pulled the swap out, they sold it, they pulled the interior and sold it, but they left all the power windows and the dashboard. So I ended up putting all my spare stuff into it with the Recaros, and the interior for the most part is done. I still want the 35XT interior later, but I'm content with the way it currently sits. So the body of the car had already been resprayed from Japan. So the entire body of the car is not the original paint, but it is repainted the same color. And I think I'm just gonna leave the exterior alone, other than maybe a slight cut and polish, because you can kind of see a slight like OE style orange peel, and probably get a PDR guy to come out here and pull some of these little dings out. So I'm gonna show you guys the paint real quick. Not shabby, really clean, right? But if you go up close, a little orange peel, which I'm okay with, to be honest with you guys. Probably just a good polish, but there are a lot of minor dinks. I don't know how long ago this car was painted, but there's a lot of little ones like this throughout the entire car, and because it's shiny, you can kind of see it. But the body of the car, I'm not worried about right now. My biggest thing was, what am I gonna do about the engine bay? It is the original green, but do I want to leave it factory, plop an engine in it, or should I just paint it to make it clean overall with the car? And I've now decided, granted this car is sitting here for about 2 years now, I'm gonna paint the engine bay. So that's why we're gonna be pulling everything out in prep for a painted engine bay, but not in today's video, as far as like body work, primer, sanding, and all that, you know, unfun stuff. But I want to at least start tearing everything out of it and get it all prepped for paint, so we can start planting an engine into the car. And I've actually talked about this a couple of times in the previous build videos. If you guys remember my first EF sedan, I've had a B swap in it from 2006 up until when I sold it in 2014, and I want to take this car where that car didn't go. So I'm gonna keep it nostalgic. I'm keeping it B series with AC, possibly with power steering. And I said that I was gonna do a B20 VTEC in this car because I was a diehard B20 VTEC. I mean, if it's still B series, I'm still a diehard B20 V, right? But not just an ordinary B20 VTEC. I'm gonna be doing a piston rod high comp built head B20 V, still keeping it on pump to try to make like 220, 230 around there, but anything over 210 I'll be completely happy with. So we're gonna be doing a B20 VTEC in this car, but later down the road. I just wanted to get it up and going for now, get everything working, and then build the B20 V on the side. And when that's ready to go, then plop it into the car. So what we're gonna be doing after everything's all painted, I'm gonna be dropping in my B18C Type R. I've shown this a couple of times now. My 96 spec B18C Type R I got from the junkyard. I rebuilt this thing to 0 miles, and I actually plopped it into my red CRX, drove it for about 1100 miles, and pulled it out for the built B series turbo. So this thing has been sitting here for quite some time, and this is what's going to go into the JDM EF2 for the time being until the B20V is ready to rock and roll. So the engine bay, our goal today is to pull everything out of the engine bay as much as possible, so we can get it all prepped and ready for primer. There's a lot of stuff in this engine bay, especially with all the AEC stuff, but nothing that we haven't touched before. So with that being said, man, I'm just going to throw you guys up on the laps and let's get to it. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, I lost track of time. It is currently 10:16, and my buddy came through to drop off some parts, and you know, we got to talking and kind of catching up a little bit. But I want to give you guys a little update on the JDM EF2 before I close the garage for tonight. And we did quite a bit. Not entirely everything I wanted to get done, but you know, progress is better than no progress. So hopefully the time-lapse captured just about everything, because I let the camera run until it died on me. But the engine bay is almost fully stripped for the most part. So I pulled everything out from the front, the bumper, the headlights, the condenser, all the AC lines, power steering, cooler, all that jazz. And then we worked to the left side of the car, I mean passenger side of the car, pulled all the harness, the wiper, reservoir, fluid right there. We pulled that out, all the power steering reservoir, the harness, all the clips, all the little clips. I pulled everything out, all the little rubber grommets, pulled all of those out. And I ended up taking out the AC unit, which right there goes inside the car. And I pulled the whole entire harness into the car. Power steering line is just sitting here because that is connected to the rack. I'm gonna drop the whole subframe before paint, so that comes off together. But for the most part, completely stripped. And then on the driver's side, same deal. We pulled the air box out. We took all the harness off, which is actually sitting right here because I didn't actually get to it. It sits in that corner, and it's so jam-packed underneath the dashboard on the driver's side, it's hard to actually pull this whole entire shebang in. But brake master, booster taken off, hard line popped off of that. The brake prop valve, I'm just going to swing it off to the side, probably going to disconnect this one line right here that goes over there. If it's, you know, USDM left hand, it'll be 3 on the firewall. Fortunate for us, right hand drive only has 1 that goes here. So pop that off later, bend this off to the side, all the little rubber grommets all taken off as well too. Aside from that, the engine bay itself is just about ready to be sanded down and prep for paint. I think what I'm gonna do this time around is, instead of popping off the fenders like I usually do, I'm gonna leave the fenders on the car, but remove all the bolts and just kind of prop it up to sand underneath it and paint it all together. Why? Because the car was resprayed, but they taped it off right there. So it's all flat here, shiny there, and I don't want to paint the engine bay and then this would be flat. So I'm gonna leave it here, just kind of tape it off and then sand it all together and paint this whole unit as one, instead of removing the fender and doing it off the car. I'm gonna leave the hinges on the car as well too. And the hood, I'm probably gonna paint the hood first before actually painting the engine bay. Right, I kind of want to see the paint match and everything, how it all looks, before I tackle the engine bay itself, because this is easier to work on than all the little nooks and crannies. But for the most part, this thing is almost ready to rock and roll. I'm not sure if I'm going to take you guys along the ride of prepping this engine bay, but I might just lapse everything, doing more work than filming, prepping this thing for primer before the actual base coat, clear coat, which then I'll show you guys that. But not sure when I'll dive back into this, because you know, we got some other little things we're going to be doing here in between, but we're making move in the right direction, which is what's the important thing for me today, or at least in this video. So another thing that I was looking at too, because this car was probably carbureted, these hard lines on the firewall looks a little weird to me. So I don't know which one is gas and which one is what. There's 3 of these little dudes, so I got to figure something out with that. I'm gonna have to watch Turbo Tristan's video again when he converted his EF hatch to EFI or multi-point, and see how he went about all of that. But there's a few other little things that I did, like the heater core barbs were completely smushed, so I had to like reshape all of that. A lot of little stuff, which is why, like I said, I lost time with all the little stuff and also hanging out with my buddy. But he delivered some cool parts, and I'm gonna show you guys here in a second. I'm gonna close everything up, and I'm gonna close the garage and show you what he delivered to me. First, I gotta pack all the stuff in that box and scoot it into the garage. Garage is closed, guys, and I want to show you guys some of this parts that the homie Mike brought over tonight. And dude, I'm stoked to have it back, because it's been a while that I've seen it, and realistically I'm not in a rush to have it back because I don't really have plans for it anytime soon, except this piece right here on the floor. So first and foremost, I'm gonna show you guys this piece right here. This was gifted to me by the homie Mike. This is a CRX Outlaw enclosed fiberglass front bumper for a CRX. You guys might have remembered I talked about building a dedicated race car next year, right? And then I wasn't entirely sure about the plan anymore, because not really much track around me other than 4 hours north or 4 hours south or even 6 hours south or even 10 hours to Vegas, that if I built a dedicated race car, I would need a truck and a trailer. And I would prefer a trailer over a dolly, much easier for me to maneuver. And I don't think right now is suitable for me to have a trailer and a truck, granted the amount of cars I have here at the pad. If Big Bertha was running tops, I'm gonna have to talk to my brother to see if he can get Big Bertha up and going again, because she is a good tow rig, just it's currently not running, which is why you guys haven't seen me use it lately. But if we can get Bertha running tops, then, you know, I might fork out for a trailer and just kind of leave it on the grass and just deal with the city if they ever harass me. But I'm not entirely sure about building a race car just yet, but I am going to build everything else around a race car. So I'm going to do the motor and collect suspension parts and just things that I need for a race car before the car itself. So this bumper is part of that race car I want to build, right? Fiberglass, lightweight. On top of that, we have the carbon fiber hatch, which has been sitting right here. I'm going to be taking off the glass, both bottom and top, to do full Lexan. So carbon fiber hatch has been sitting right there. Just need a good old clear coat, and that's going to be another piece to the puzzle of lightening up a CRX chassis. And yeah, it's a CRX, like I've mentioned, is because I have a CRX hatch and a CRX bumper, so that's going to help a lot with just building a CRX instead of outsourcing, you know, a different chassis fiberglass part. So shout out to Mike for dropping off this bumper. I meant to go pick it up a long time ago, but he moved back to the city, so it's actually here, and he just dropped it off along with this piece right here. If you guys remember my red CRX, my all-wheel drive CRX, before I sold it in 2023, I think it was. I sold it a couple of years ago. It's actually for sale in Vegas right now for $10,000. Still GSR turbo all-wheel drive, but I pulled this motor out of that car. I then stuffed the stock GSR with a turbo kit into the red all-wheel drive car. Then I sold that car. This long block, I pulled it out because the engine was smoking at the last event that I went with the homie Leo, rest in peace, and I didn't want to hurt the motor any further, so I pulled it out to get it rebuilt. And you guys can only imagine how long ago I've had that red CRX and how long this motor's been gone. But the short block was entirely ran through, and we ran to a couple of mishaps where I had to like up the piston size twice. So it was originally 81.5, then we went 82, and then we had to go 83, brand new 83s with Prum pistons right there. And the homie Mike reassembled this whole entire shebang, 0 miles, rebuilt short block. This is my LS RS machine sleeve block that was in my red CRX when I made 500 horsepower. So I'll show you guys really quickly. Ooh, this thing looks so good. Look at that. 83 mil RS machine LS block. Already assembled. Got the pump and everything there. All the stuff is left off because I'm going to be cleaning everything before I reassemble it back. V18B1. Damn, it's been a minute since I've seen this thing. So guys, B series is not dead on the channel. It's not. It's just, this is like one of 3 other B series that I have lying around. I do have a Benson sleeve that's like back there, and I have a GSR long block. Oh, and then I have a B20 long block that I also rebuilt 0 miles, just sitting under the rack over there. So haven't done much of the B series stuff because everything has just been K lately. But realistically, this was that block that I was waiting for to return because I wanted to do something with it. Some B series turbo stuff coming in next year. I'm not sure, so don't hold me to it, but we have the block back finally, so we can definitely do something with it. And the turbo kit that came out of that car that was on this block is still in my storage unit. So your boy might be doing some B series stuff coming in 2026. So hope you guys are sticking around for that ride. But got my LS sleeve block back. Got a gifted CRX Outlaw front bumper, and off camera I've been working on t-shirts, and I got it kind of laid out right here. I'm not going to show you guys too much about this. I've just been, again, off camera trying to compare prices, prints, quality between a couple of different companies. If you guys remember, we printed a couple of t-shirts, the black and the white one. The prints came from Ninja Transfer, which is this guy right here. right? Super duper clear with the image, the color amazing, everything super detailed. And then I bought this guy right here from a company closer to me called California DTF out of Richmond, and this one has a yellow tint to it, which kind of looks a little weird to me. And this one, it was so cheap because it's such a big company that runs really busy. For the price, I ended up just getting a whole gang sheet of it. So there's like a gang of them in there, just, you know, for test runs. But anyways, I'm gonna try this one here soon. This one is from Pro Colors out of Texas. I didn't know they're from Texas until they created the label. I'm probably not gonna order from this company just because they're far and it took like 7 days to get to me. Whether it's good or bad, I'm just not gonna sit and wait for it to come across country. But the image looks pretty good. The wheels probably comparable to the Gracie prints. I would say these two are just about the same if you look at the coloring. Just about the same, but not as vibrant as Ninja Transfer. So I'm gonna try this print as well too on a t-shirt later and just kind of compare them all together on a black background. And I actually have another set of prints coming in this week from somebody else local to me, like 45 minutes from me. And I actually spoke to the owner on the phone a couple days ago, and she stand by her prints. She sent me a bunch of samples, and it looks like it might be a good print. But granted, we've used the same file on all these other companies, and they all came out differently. So I'm just curious to see her prints when it shows up. And when I get that one, probably I'll do all the prints together in one video, kind of show you on a t-shirt. But I've been working on the back end, just trying to, you know, find the better stuff for you guys when all of this is ready to rock and roll. Because right now, this is the pricier one, but this is also the best one I've ran so far. So that's the update with this. I don't want to give you guys too much light on it just because the videos don't really do too well with all of this stuff for some reason. But as far as this video goes, we did what we wanted to do, not entirely, but ton of progress. We stripped the engine bay down just about 90%, and I'm stoked to continue moving forward with the JDM EF2 because we are still on standby. We're still waiting for the pistons to show up for the K20 block for the 8.8 silver sedan, and it should be here, like, I'm hoping no more than 2 days, so we can get back to the shop, drop it all off to get it assembled. And I talked to Guy today as well too. He said to bring him just a rotating assembly, so that means he's gonna just do the rotating assembly, piston rod, crank, bearings, and I'm gonna try to be there with him when he assembles it so I can show you guys a little bit of that and do some injector cleaning. But that also means when that strobe block comes back, I can do a engine assembly, so I can do the cylinder head, all the accessories and everything, and just get it all prepped to go back into the 8.8 silver sedan. So because that sedan right now is on the burner, the engine's still waiting to go to the machine shop and get it rebuilt. We're going to try to dive as much as we can to the JDM EF2. So I hope you guys are along for that ride. We're going to wrap it up for this video right here. It is super duper cold. I can't feel my fingers, can't feel my toes. I hope you guys enjoyed this one with the JDM EF2 engine bay strip down. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for more progress on my dream build, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys at the next video. Peace.